Hello and welcome to Nightsky Sanctum. This is session 6. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, darlings.
Hello.
So we're having some minor technical difficulties, and we're just going to check and make sure everything's coming through. All right. So, all right. Everything looks good on the stream, and we're all here. We are missing Vespertine tonight, but Vespertine, when you see this, we miss you, and we'll see you in the next session. All right. So we just finished up downtime off camera, and I have a question for, well, all of you, but especially our resident Baba, played by Anya. Anya, with your Baba power that allows you to know what's going on in your domain, do you think it would be appropriate for us to add a die to the security check if anything weird happens?
Yeah, absolutely. I should know.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what the best way to roll a security check would be. It's usually Coven tier +1 because you have secure Covenstead. And I was thinking we'd do secure Covenstead plus an extra 1. Yeah. So that would be 3 dice. And that way we won't really know. But if we do it that way and we just roll 3 dice all at once, we won't really know if it was the Baba that caught it or the security system that caught it, or sheer luck. So,
I mean, I'll know anyway, so I'll just claim it as me.
okay, that makes sense. Well, in that case, there is a potential security threat that is about to impact your coven just after downtime. And
It's
if you would
Roger,
like to roll, what's that?
It's Roger, isn't it?
How much of a jerk could
He
you be? He has
regrew
no
his
legs.
legs.
He's crawling out.
He's just like a starfish.
Yeah,
We don't actually know his heritage, do we?
No,
we
we
do
don't.
not.
He is
Maybe
a
he is a starfish.
You want me to
The
roll
only
for
way
you
to
guys?
Yeah, the only way to find out is to gather information.
Complete success.
Okay. I was kind of hoping we would get a crit there, but a complete success is real good. Okay.
It was a six.
It's the second best thing.
So I was thinking we could treat the third die as you. And the third die is the 6.
Oh, good.
So as soon as an unexpected entity sets foot on your little island, South Brother Island, where your coven is located, you immediately are alerted as a Baba that someone has entered your domain without permission.
Do I
But
know their whereabouts on the island?
yes, you know their
Okay.
exact whereabouts on the island. And shortly after you feel their footsteps in your domain, you feel the footsteps of 2 additional people who have entered your domain. They have ill intent, which maybe you read some tea leaves or something of that nature to gather their intent. What would you do to do that?
I would probably pick up a handful of dirt, give it a good sniff, give it a good shake, and throw it back on the ground and see how the particles land.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, what you see is the image of a wolf, and you see it followed by 2 shriveled beings that look like they're not worth your time.
Okay.
A wolf.
A wolf.
So
The
I got
image of a wolf.
I have my headband that helps with illusion magic. Is there
Mhm.
any sort of illusion magic happening? Like, do they just look like shriveled things, so I won't want to bother them, or are they actually just
No,
weird?
that was when you were divining their intent.
Okay.
You just get the image of a wolf.
Okay.
You know, like when you're reading tea leaves and you see a
Sure.
wolf head in the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get one predatory kind of feeling, and the other
Mhm.
2
Opposite.
don't feel as substantial. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. I could send out a Ron and see what he can see.
Okay. Do you want to alert your coven mates?
Absolutely.
Okay. So call a
I will
meeting.
walk out. Yeah, I will walk out into the main of instead and call everyone's attention and let them know that we have been treated.
Well,
3 of them.
we should greet them. Put
Yeah,
on a
yeah.
cup of tea. I mean, what's
You
the
wanna go-
point of having a place if you can't entertain? It's a private island, for God's sake.
Anything you want to get together?
Are we waiting for the familiar to come back?
Oh,
Flying
I'm
over
sorry.
into-
Yeah, so you're gonna sneak your familiar out?
Yeah. He's got a little hole
Okay.
he can crawl out of.
What are you rolling, and what's the intent?
I could roll a survey roll just to kind
Okay.
of scan, see where they are, and see if we can recognize who they are.
Sure. I think you have the home turf advantage. So yeah, you don't really need to sneak out.
Yeah.
You already have a method for doing that. So yeah, it's just a matter of surveying around.
Okay. This will be the one that I fail. Let's see. I got a partial success. A
Okay.
4.
So Iran leaps from its hole and gets to a good altitude and then starts gliding around, getting a good survey of the island, and can see a rickety boat that is now abandoned on the shore. It's tied down, but not very well. You get the idea that whoever is here is not very
Well equipped.
not very knowledgeable about using a boat.
Okay.
What else do you want to know?
Do I recognize them at all? Like, have
So
I seen them before?
Yeah, you have seen one of them before.
Okay.
It is the woman who is psychically connected to Seth from
Oh,
your first adventure.
freaking
The
Tina.
Yep, it's the wage mage Tina, who you met at the Museum of Modern Artifacts. Um,
Obviously,
and
learned a lesson.
mhm. And
Okay.
Iran sees two other humanoid-looking creatures made of smoke. But as soon as he spots them, they both twirl around and then sink into the earth.
Okay.
And you can see a little trail as they're moving underneath the earth. Little bits of black smoke are coming up where they are, but then they go deeper and you can't see them any longer. And as far as the partial success, so there's a slight cost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say simply that Tina recognizes Iran from your previous encounter, and knows that it's your familiar and will be hostile toward it.
Okay. Well,
So
he's not
will
gonna
be
get
in
close enough.
risky if there are any interactions. All right.
He's a little out. He's not gonna go swooping down there.
Well, she's a witch, so just line of sight might be good enough, but for
Yeah.
now, it's okay.
Well, since I know who she is, I will call him back so he
Okay.
can come back to safety.
And if I remember right, you have had access to some of her hair and some of her blood
Yeah.
from the first adventure,
Mm-hmm.
first undertaking.
And I got a
believe
read
we
on
still-
her so I can mimic her perfectly because we mentally messed her up last time.
That's right. And she's a rival?
Yes, she's my rival.
But I was thinking we'd bring Roger out to the table and just set him up and just invite her in. And it's just, creepy
Oh, we're
little.
just having some dinner. Like,
Yeah.
I fundamentally agree. Yes. Let's bring Roger out and then welcome her in.
Okay.
If she has any sense.
He'll leave.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that all you're going to focus on while you're setting this up?
should I go and cart their boat off somewhere?
Mm.
Upside down very well, just like give it a nice little push.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a shifter, you should be able to get out there unseen very easily.
Just turn into a crab and crab walk my way over.
Yes.
You'd be hidden amongst all the other beach crabs that you all have. Just
Well,
waving your little
No.
crabby claws.
The crab
Doing the
rave.
crab dance. Crab rave.
You guys want me to do that? You want me to like push her boat away? Or because she's
Yeah.
magic anyway, so I don't know.
She should be stuck here with us.
Worth that.
So what would I do in regards to that? Obviously, I'm going to shapeshift into a crab first, make my way
Okay.
over. But
Do you know about Aron's tiny hole that he has as an escape route?
Oh, I
Crazy.
assumed he had like when you said hole, I assumed he had like a perch or something. I don't.
That's possible.
They burrow.
Fellas.
So he has a little burrow that connects from the underground to the above world.
Nice. I'll just climb out through his little burrow, I guess. His tunnel.
Okay.
Seems more
I guess
efficient.
that would
than-
be a prowl roll to kind of get over there unnoticed with the shadow people.
Sure.
Something about the idea of a prowling crab just seems nonsensical to me.
Very menacing. I'm
Let me give you-
I'm the knife crab
Sneaking
for my
sideways.
I'm going to give you potence on that because there are so many crabs out there.
Okay.
You can easily blend in.
Do I have to do anything to my roll for that, or just my normal?
Nope. It just increases the effect level.
Okay. Partial success at a 4. You do it at a cost.
Okay. Hmm. So
Maybe a
I see
larger
this.
crab attacks me.
Ooh. Yeah, that would make sense since there are so many crabs on the beach, and you probably look like a very healthy specimen that that
The
it might
perfect
want
crab.
either as a mate or as a rival.
Does this
So-
count as romancing an NPC?
Is that one of your goals for the session?
Tina's
want-
in our island, and Seth is off romancing crabs. How shellfish.
Oh, how shellfish! I was gonna do my own plan that I don't want crabs this session, but.
Mm.
Oh,
My perspective.
So, okay, yeah, you make it out there, and you're able to use your strong crab claws to cut through the little rope, or even just unplug it from the mud, because they literally just shoved an anchor down into the muck, thinking that would hold it. So, yeah, you're able to sever the rope, and the boat goes away. And yeah, you find yourself accosted by one of the largest crabs on the beach. But as the crab comes for you, a shadowy smoke creature comes up from the beach, and the insides of the crab just shrivel up, and it dies as the smoke rises up through it and is
Oh, wow.
focused on you.
Oh,
Well, that's a waste of good seafood.
I'm gonna become crab rangoon, guys.
At least you'll go out deliciously.
So is it
We
aggressive
actually-
towards me at this point?
Yeah, it probably knows what you are, that you're a familiar. I need to take a short break because we started late. So let me pause the stream, and we will
Do we know
see
what kind of
all
witch
of you.
Tina is? Really quick.
What's that?
Do we know what kind of witch Tina is? Really quick.
She was an empath.
Okay.
Because she's got mental stuff on me right now. That's kind of like a lingering
Okay.
thing.
Yep. We are back. And where we left off, Seth had been accosted by a giant crab, which was then unceremoniously desiccated by a smoke monster. The smoke monster. Go ahead. Sorry.
Nothing, darling. It was a joke about coconuts and crabs. Not a very good one either.
So the smoke entity kind of leers at Seth knowingly, and then rises up and flies away back toward the compound.
Okay. Well, what are you guys doing? Well, I guess I scamper my way back.
Getting Roger situated.
I'm
Putting an apple in his mouth.
I am changing into my fine new gown.
Mm.
And
That you picked up at the floating market.
yes. And preparing some drinks. I don't expect we'll actually want them, but one must put on the facade as a good host.
Certainly. Okay. No rolls needed there. That's your forte.
Ooh, I want Roger to have a bow tie. That would be cute.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you have to roll for that, though.
I think, given that it's probably been several weeks since you captured him, you've had plenty of time to make him a bow tie. You have any dots in craft?
I do.
Is it
Then
made
you're
out of the skin from his legs?
Oh,
That's
that
extra crafting.
I was told I had to be more twisted. Or at
It's
least it was heavily
appreciated.
implied.
Okay.
I guess I'll go open the door and wait for her.
Okay.
I expect Gavin wanted us preparing traps here, but we're not.
No. You can do absolutely as you wish. All right.
Toasts.
So you open up the door. Which did we decide that you have like a kind of like a cellar door, like a storm door that opens to the surface? Okay.
Keeps the
And
cold
you.
out for winter.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have a boathouse, so does that mean we have something above ground as well?
Probably, yeah, some way of getting a boat to the shore easily. So yeah, you can see her off in the distance, and she is definitely scanning for you. So as soon as you open the door, she spots you and starts sort of storming toward you like an angry Karen.
Goodness.
She may want to speak to your manager. It's unclear.
Okay.
Who's the manager?
Yeah.
Connor.
That's a good question.
Hollis is Owl. That's the manager.
So, yep, she looks upset, but you're surprised that she's not like casting any spells or anything. And so what do you say when,
I'm just
what do
gonna
you
tell her
say
to
when
hurry
she,
up because we don't have all night.
You're letting the heat out.
Like, get over here. Let's go.
Yep. So yeah, it is the night. There's a nice fingernail moon in the sky, visible from where you left, or where you opened it up into. Hello, bird. Aw.
Wants to
Your familiar has
participate.
arrived.
Yeah.
So yeah, she just has this disappointed look on her face, but she does scurry as you request. And she doesn't seem afraid or anything, but she does seem angry.
Okay.
Yep.
Angry, but
So she,
obedient as always.
right. So she heads to your doorway and sort of scoffs at you, and but she's waiting for whatever your command is.
I'm gonna go have a seat next to our other guest.
So why don't you describe what she sees as she comes down the stairs?
Roger was my rival, and he's at this point he has one leg and no fingernails on any of his appendages, and he's pretty much crippled. Like, he can't go anywhere, and yeah, he probably has all of my marks from like all of my wounds. So he has bruises. He has a pierced ear because of my power, where I can give other
No, I
people
thought
my
that was
wounds
a
to
rough
heal my.
night in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he has all kinds of wounds all over his body. You've cut some of his like ligaments or tendons, so
And I
that
probably sewn his mouth shut because I don't want to hear him speak.
that makes sense. Also has probably a good chance of preventing him from casting spells, because when you met him previously, it looked like his casting style required chanting.
Definitely don't want him
There's
doing
bow tie.
that.
Oh yes, can't forget the bow tie. So, yeah, I'm just gonna. Can you roll one die for the coven tier? Just sort of see. Do you have the ability, the fearsome omens?
Let me check. I don't think I do yet.
Okay.
No.
Well, you're leaning toward it.
Yeah. I'm making my own for the moment.
What'd you get? Oh, sorry. I guess I can look over
I got
here.
a 2. Sorry.
Okay. All
I
right.
switched over.
Yeah, she seems undeterred. But yeah, That's a little unusual. You expected a little bit more of a reaction. And yeah, she comes in and sits down as far as she can get away from Roger, as he's stretching his lips and trying to speak, but not much is coming out.
Am I still on my way back at this time?
Yeah, so do you
I
want to get
better
back
explore.
undetected? Yeah.
Well, the shadow people, did they just completely go off towards the boathouse, or like, do I have to worry about them right now?
Only one came up and it flew away. So no, it disappeared behind one of the little abandoned buildings on the island.
I guess I'll scamper back and kind of tail them as they come in, see if Tina's doing anything shady.
Okay.
Just kind of flank them as they come in.
Well, she
Sure.
said, but so are we.
So as you're scampering away, you hear a sort of rattling of crab shells from behind you. And you look back at the desiccated crab, and it is now oozing yellow liquid from its eyes and has risen up and is following you back toward the Covenstead,
They're not wrong.
snapping at the air.
Is it trying
It's
to
moving.
attack me, or is it just following me?
It's moving pretty slowly, so you're as you're moving away from it, it's not even able to keep pace with you yet.
Okay.
So we've got zombie crabs now.
Just
Yeah,
one.
really.
My goodness. Well, I'll leave this to you two since it covers your respective realms.
Just put him in a little fish tank.
Weird hermit crab.
It's Leonardo da Vinci.
Well, I'll sit down across from her at the table and just ask her what she needs. What are you here for? What do you want?
So she says that she's here to find out how the other half lives. You
We hit all of them.
unregistered you unregistered wild witch types that buck the rules.
And that is when I burst into the room in my jaw-dropping, fabulous gown with a tray full of Manhattans, the most appropriate drink for New York, of course. And I say, fabulously, darling, would thou also like to live deliciously?
She seems shocked and amused.
What I strive for, shocked and amused.
She says your coven upended her life, and she's been doing everything she can over the last few months to track you down. And now she's here. And she's kind of at a loss.
We got her fired. Now she's like, well, crud.
We also got her boyfriend sent to jail.
That's true.
Yeah, you haven't followed up on that stuff to know for sure, but that definitely seemed
seems like a
very likely. Yeah.
It's true. There's no certainty there, but a sape seemingly having killed another sape.
Yep. So yeah, she to follow up on what she said about, upending her life, Yeah, the Obsidian Council came and took him, and he's awaiting trial, but nobody knows how long that's going to take. She's not able to see him. So.
Truly, my condolences, darling. I mean, what terrible luck to get caught up in all that nonsense. Shame he chose to be so difficult. You see,
What
when
is-
something is difficult with us, things tend to go poorly for them.
And I'll just gesture to.
Exhibit A.
Those that toe the line might have it rough.
So that sounds like that might be a group action that you've already set up, or possibly just one of you wants to,
Shall we?
maybe Hollis, or
I mean-
or both.
I could make it a very clear threat, and I suppose that would count as a command, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
Even if we don't have a distinct goal. It's very clear that I'm showing her the consequences of an action. So
Mm-hmm.
I could do a commanding group action. I don't know what she wants, but it's very clear she came here in anger.
Mm-hmm.
And an angry dog needs to be reminded who holds the leash.
So is it a group action or a
Yeah, we
single
can do
action?
something like that.
Okay.
Would I participate in this because I'm
You're a
not
crap.
in the room, or
I was
I'm just like
I was gonna-
thinking along in solidarity?
yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask if you wanted to shapeshift and come back in, or just wait at the door and see the reaction and then decide what you want to do. You might do more harm than good, considering you are the one she's blamed for everything, which is probably why she's giving the other two the benefit of the doubt and listening to them.
Which is quite ridiculous since
You didn't actually do any of these things to her.
She just hates fish people.
we all do.
Racist against fish sticks.
It just smells so bad.
Oh, that's a slur. Maybe I just skulk in the corner and see how it plays out.
Okay.
Because the less she knows that I'm there, probably the better for this scenario.
All right. I think the setup action will give you increased effect, but we will kind of need to hammer out what the goal is.
Do we
Go.
want to make her a contact or something?
Or to drop the grudge.
Drop the grudge would be good.
Yes, put all thoughts of dissent out of her mind. I already told her she's to be my contact. Obviously, she's come here with some realization that she has the potential to stand up to me, and goodness knows.
Yeah, she doesn't seem very willing to stand up to either of you.
She's just broken already.
Yeah.
We just need to
All
put in
right.
the final peg.
I think because it's been set up so thoroughly, you can probably add some more goals to that if you'd like.
Well,
Because you're probably looking at increased effect. So maybe back to the original agreement. She needs to work her way back to having a normal job again.
yes. And we can help her if she wants. But she must defer to us. We are her master. I am, but I'll say we for
Okay. That's definitely sounds like enough information to do a group command.
All right.
Any Fey bargains or anything?
I think we got this one.
It seems likely that we would succeed. I'm going to leave that in fate's hands. Because if it doesn't, it'll be fun. Complete success.
Woohoo!
Okay.
I failed. I'm not nearly as intimidating.
So I suppose that's me leading a group action, so that's 2 willpower?
Yep. And if you want to use your power, you can reduce that to 0.
Well, might as well.
Okay.
All right, I'll use up my master planner. We'll just say I planned this all out, had all this drag this. Yeah.
All right. So, Seth, you are in the doorway, in whatever form you'd like.
Okay. Would I participate in this group action? Because I'm not part of the intimidation necessarily right now, but I'm...
You are a crab. Very intimidating. Just
Well, get her toes!
Yeah, I would say that's over with and successful.
Okay.
So yeah, she's groveling and trying to get her previous position and arrangement back.
I do love it when they grovel.
And
I
yeah,
tell
she
her to dismiss her smoke guys because I don't like extra people running around my island. Because I can feel them.
You're messing up my nice dirt.
The vibes are all wrong.
So she kind of breaks down at the table and starts crying and says, "They followed me here. They kind of prompted this. And now that I see this sorry state of a man," and she points to Roger, "I understand why. You all are definitely not to be trifled with. But neither are his coven mates." And at that point, Seth, you hear the scuttling of crabs coming up from behind you, and there is an army of undead crabs.
Oh my goodness.
All foaming yellow liquid from their crab mouths.
So this is Roger's fault.
Yes.
It's Roger's 2 coven mates, yeah.
Well, I could just go totally ridiculous with this, with my neurotic, reckless, and just do dire form and transform into some giant, ridiculous crab to take on the little crabs.
I have an idea.
You think you're big? You think you're tough? Guess what? Massive
I have
crab.
an utterly dark and twisted idea.
Feed
Do
them,
tell.
Roger.
Why
Can we
don't I
check Roger out
take
the crabs?
his body and have him crawl out into them and kill himself?
Oh, goodness. Well, that's Hollis's choice.
I'm
Because that's
definitely
Hollis's
down
rival.
for that. Tired of having to feed him, keep him alive. It's not fun. It's like
But it'll
having a
put
pet you don't
fear
want.
of me into him. Or them. All of them.
You might have to heave him up the stairs or onto the floor because you've cut some tendons so he can't do much crawling. But
My goodness, even his arms don't work.
We'll get
This
him
might
up
be
there.
very useful.
okay.
Worth just throwing him out there and shooting him in the head.
I want to watch the crabs eat him.
I wonder if Seth were to draw first blood, would they follow suit? Or would they resist as they are his friends?
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I don't know if they know I'm not one of them at this point.
Well, you're the only one who's still alive. All the others are zombies.
Just means I'm the leader. I'm alive. I'm in charge.
The
Come on, guys,
general.
hold hands.
The crab lich. I mean, I could use magic, but it would be a bit of a faff, considering that he's utterly useless.
So, Seth, you are the closest to the crabs. So you should probably take the
The crab goes
first action.
Okay. So I'm assuming we haven't brought Roger up the stairs at this point because I'm seeing these crabs before everyone else.
Yeah.
Um.
Do you
I
know
would
any
like-
vaping dances?
No, but I have my hood of understanding, so I don't know if I can understand the
Hmm.
crab.
How are you trying to wear a hood as a crab?
I look
Very
just look
cool.
tough. I guess I can attempt to lead the convoy of crabs into the base. Just snack on Roger.
Okay.
No
But
one
I'm
ever.
not
Right. Yeah.
sure.
Start the
I'm not sure
feast.
what that would- Yeah, I'm not sure what that would be for rolling though. Maybe a target?
Oh, I
I'm
don't
not
think
sure.
there's any need for a roll there.
Okay. Charge!
Yeah.
Follow me, man.
All right.
How do you lead a series of undead crabs? Through diplomacy.
Okay. So you heave Roger to the floor, and what's that?
I just kick him out of his chair.
Just sweep the
And-
legs out from under him.
That is your power move after last week's session. Sweep the leg. Okay, so the crabs go straight for Roger, and start
Dips on the nose.
biting him, and taking tiny chunks of flesh. And after it goes on for about 30 seconds, he's finally able to like rip his the sewn part of his mouth, but it's just enough that he's able to like gurgle out a few syllables before he's unconscious.
Crabs!
So now we have
Uh,
man-eating crabs in our house.
mm-hmm.
Well, I would say
So
you should roast them all, but they're all
Mm.
dead already.
Tina tells you that the stray animals around her neighborhood have been turning up like this too.
Hmm.
But the smoke creatures are able to like whisper things to her and command her, and
What do they say?
that's what got her. They are the ones that told her where you were and how to find you. And
So these smoke people are manipulating you, Tina. They're convincing you to throw yourself at an ally in hostility.
yeah.
Well, we can't have that. We must do away with such manipulators. We can't have any such behavior in this city.
Maybe we see if we can get all the crabs out, set the crabs on fire, and then go take care of the rest of Roger's coven.
Do I just try to lead them back out the house now?
Maybe
We're
drag
done.
the
Okay, let's go.
rest of Roger out too.
Without any other roles or anything, they just seem to be acting on instinct and eating the flesh that's closest to them. They're not. Yeah, they don't seem to
They're not
be.
smart.
They're not smart.
Okay.
They're not smart when
Um,
they're either, the crabs.
you hear a hissing noise come from somewhere around Tina, And she quiets her familiar that she has under her arm. A bearded dragon or something.
Oh.
How cute. I do love a good beardy. I was hopeful it was a cat. I was going to make a pair of gloves. Well, I assume if these are smoke beings, that they are not the true friends of Roger, the late Roger, and just some sort of avatar or projection.
Yeah. Some sort of illusion.
Are you able to get anything with your headband?
She hasn't seen them yet. Only her owl did, and her owl doesn't get the benefit of her headdress.
But it is the same color ooze that we dealt with when we dealt with everything.
That's true.
I think that's just what fish look like when they die.
All right. So, yep, the crabs finish their meal and start going after the rest of you, and they're not much. Bless you.
Bless you.
Well, if we can get them on
They
fire,
are-
I want to set them on fire.
Yeah.
It seems the most sensible course of action.
The only way out that I know of is the way that is now covered in crabs, so you would have to make your way through them or blaze a path.
I mean, we're in here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't actually have to get out of here.
That's true. You could just shut a couple doors and they would just all congregate down here, most likely.
Just burn the crabs.
If you want to take Tina deeper into your coven instead.
Sure.
I think she's a good girl. And if she's not, I'll beat it into her.
You can have Roger's room. He's not using it.
Precisely.
Seth, are you turning back into yourself, or do you want to look like someone else?
Just turn into a giant
I'll just turn
crab.
it.
They follow
No,
you.
I'll just. I can mimic Tina. I'll just turn into Tina and mess with her while she's here.
Okay.
They actually-
All her clothes and everything?
12.
Yeah, I'm just gonna copy her and just make her really uncomfortable.
Okay.
As if we haven't done enough of that already.
And so that she knows if she acts up, we can just kill her and replace her.
That's a good point.
So that's impersonation minus study plus essence. So
Yeah, you don't have to roll that. You don't have to do that anymore since you have the perfect impersonation tag on her. But if you could roll one die, the Covenanter, and we'll see just sort of what kind of reaction you get out of her.
Okay. Failure. She's not impressed.
Okay. Yeah, she's seen you shapeshift. She saw you, I think, as a guard and as your fishy self in the past, and she's like sort of read your emotions and everything, and she's like, yeah, I expected this from you.
Get a new trick already.
She's probably almost offended by how bad your impersonation is. This is what you think.
How bad my impersonation is.
Maybe she's one of those people that if you ever met yourself, would you like yourself? Maybe she's meeting herself and she doesn't like herself. All right.
It's really that bad? Like...
So you barricade yourselves down in the holding cell area?
Yeah.
All right. It seems as if the crabs aren't going to be able to come in here. It's secure enough.
All right, let's light them up.
So you just want to use some invoke Tartarus?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's the most logical course of action at this point. Either that or freeze them. Once again, Invoke Tartarus is the MVP of our entire coven's spell.
The only question is, with this yellow ooze, is it going to smell like delicious crab, or is it going to smell nasty?
Oh, it's going to be disgusting, I can assure
I think
you.
that depends on how well she rolls. So yeah, fire has a major potential for damaging your Covenstead.
Yeah, that's what I was
Ice, on the other hand, yeah.
But then we have
And-
to take the ice out. I guess we have to take out dead crab bodies regardless. So.
Yeah.
Or we have Tina do
Just
it.
put them all in the
At least
freezer.
Tina's here to clean up after us.
We can't give any willpower points to help, right? Because we don't have the Invoke Tartarus.
Correct. There is an ability that I think Arcanists have that allows them to share their willpower with other witches.
But we do not have an Arcanist.
Nope.
Okay, so I need to spend at least. So how many crabs are we talking? Like.
Several thousand.
Okay, so I need to spend at least 2 essence to get enough there.
I would say 2 essence. Probably you'll get about 2/3 of them.
So if I spend, that's a lot of. I'm not doing fire. I'm doing ice. Okay, that way I don't have to worry about burning down all of our stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
the stuff cover a bit faster. Or rather,
But if it goes badly, the fire will torch our whole place.
Yeah.
So, worst case scenario, we get soggy, slushy crabs we chuck into the bay.
I'd help, but crabs are a bit outside my forte. As are undead, as I've mentioned.
Okay, so I should spend 3 essence to get all of the crabs.
I think that'll give you greater effect. That'll virtually guarantee that you've got them all and it's cold enough to completely kill them.
And if I spend 2 willpower to increase the effect.
That would be extreme effect.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna roll focus. And yeah. Okay. So Hollis is gonna reach down and touch the ground and start doing her mumbling chants and connect with Tartarus and call forth ice. I get to roll. Am I rolling my focus, or do I get an extra die, or am I just did increase?
Yeah, increased effect rather than dice.
I got a partial success with a 5.
Okay. My thought is, since you're summoning Tartarus over such a large area, that maybe something else comes with it. Something minor. Like
A ghost? Can I have a ghost?
yeah, a ghost could work, a coven ghost.
Just in time for Halloween, a spooky ghost.
My God.
I was thinking some kind of like
Demon?
fungus.
Fungus?
Mhm.
We get mold?
Some death.
Oh, what's
like-
that mushroom that like takes over? Like
Cordyceps.
cordyceps.
A bunch of death cap mushrooms everywhere.
I was just thinking like the ground, like it kills everything else, and the only thing that starts growing underground here is you start getting these growths of mushrooms all over inside there, and it might be a problem later.
Bioluminescent mushroom?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yay!
Well,
Okay.
how wonderful.
So-
They glow, but they're going to release deadly spores into our life.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
our coven is strange and brutal. Like if it works.
Strange
Even
and
our-
brutal. But
Even
I
our
still
house plants
agree.
are deadly.
All right. So I'm writing that down as something that will come back later. All right. So yeah, they don't grow immediately, but you'll start noticing them over the next couple of weeks, and they're just impossible to eradicate. That kind of thing.
I'll
All
just start
right.
moving them to the surface and spell out words so people can see at nighttime.
They must be allergies, though, darling. Don't waste your time with anything else.
So as soon as you finish casting, and you can sort of feel the cold emanating under the door into where you're at, you see the first of the smoke creatures come out of the back wall where one of the holding cells is and move toward Tina in an attempt to attack her.
Can I see that it's an illusion?
Um,
Or built by an illusionist?
roll 2 dice for your artifact.
Okay. That's a partial success again.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna just treat that as a gather information roll.
Okay.
You trust that they are not illusions
Okay.
because your artifact is not telling you that they are, and none of your other sort of senses are telling you that they're not real.
Okay.
Wallace's familiar followed us in here.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. I was going to suggest a light gust might deal with a creature made of smoke, but we have an albatross.
Well, technically, I'm Tina right now, but I could be an albatross. Let me flap around.
Yeah, so this thing is making a beeline toward Tina.
Okay.
She seems scared. She actually throws her bearded dragon like it goes sliding across the floor because she wants to get it away from her as this thing's coming for her.
Well, it may be incorporeal being, but I am still quite persuasive. So, once again, I shout out my old mainstay as I try to get between myself, or between Tina, rather,
Mm-hmm.
and the weird, smoky, shadowy being. I shout, "Halt! Back away, you wretched creature, and remove yourself from my presence. Seek property other than mine, for she belongs to me."
All right. That sounds like a command. I'm gonna say this is gonna be, since you're getting between them, this is probably going to be risky and reduced effect.
All right.
Being that incorporeal creatures generally aren't scared by corporeal creatures.
No, they don't respond well to threats generally, do they? But it's all I have at my arsenal, really, at this
Worth
point.
a shot.
And it's a terrible failure.
Oh no. Okay. I think it's going to change its plans. Its plans were to try to possess Tina. It is instead going to possess you.
Would I be able to challenge because I look like Tina? I also have dire form where I could try to draw the
big
attention
Tina.
towards me.
Dire Tina.
So that's a good point. You could probably do a protect, where you try to get in the way, and but Elise has got between them.
Okay.
So I think this would be up to Elise to resist being possessed. if you'd
I-
like.
Whom that would be resolve.
Yeah.
Possession and resolve generally tend to be antithetical.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I will certainly resist if it's coming for me.
Yep.
I get into the right screen. So that's with an R at the end of the dice roll, yes?
Yep.
I reduce
Okay.
or resist the effect and spend 1 willpower.
Okay. So, in what way? So this thing is going straight for your mouth and trying to like force its way in. And in what way do you resist that?
I just block it with a martini.
You can't go in if I'm filling it with alcohol.
The burden keeps it away.
How would one resist through one's mouth? I suppose I could just try to cover it.
Yeah, I could see that as being a very quick,
Or
Yeah.
just give the most wretched, ghastly snarl that makes my mouth look like the most uninviting place to enter.
Yeah, that makes sense. And
Seems more-
maybe the reason it costs you that willpower is because it hurts you to summon that ferality.
Oh yes, to make such a ghastly, hideous face. I mean, certainly not easy.
And maybe you even eke out a sound that's not that you're not proud of.
A snarl.
The smoke splits and goes either side of you, and then rejoins behind you, and again makes a beeline for Tina. Now would be a good time if you wanted to try to get in the way.
Yeah, I'll do that because I'm still disguised as Tina at this point. So I have my dire form ability that says I can engage a small group on equal footing in close combat. Would that apply?
It's just one of the smoke creatures.
Okay.
But one of the other things dire form allows you to do is to
Feat of
be
incredible force.
or to be the thing that everyone sees, that it's like, oh, this is who I have to fight.
Right, yeah.
I'm trying to think of the
Here it
term
also
for
says
that.
redirects violence towards the shifter and away from their coven mates. So I guess it'll just pull all the attention to me at that point.
Yes,
Right.
it pulls.
Okay. So it's 1 essence, but what would I need to roll for a protect roll? Because I don't think I've done that yet.
Technically, this is just. I don't think it's going to need to be a protect. So it just protect action just costs 1 willpower.
Okay.
But
so
I don't think
willpower-
that's necessary if you're becoming a dire something. So I think it's just, let's
dire
figure out a dire what. Are you a dire Tina? Or are you going to be something even more intimidating?
I'll become a dire Tina, so now I'm gonna get Pecksness 6-pack and big beefy arms.
Okay. I will call, since this is unusual, I will call for some kind of roll. So how do you
I
want
gotta fit the
to...
strange part of the coven. I gotta go there. So, sorry. So, what do you need me to do? Just explain or do some kind of roll, just because it is so weird.
Yeah, either just pick an action and perform that in the fiction. I don't know. Maybe it's not necessary. It is kind of listed as a use of that power.
I mean,
So I'm going to
I
say
could do a finesse if you want me to. I'm relying on your discretion for like what you think's most appropriate.
I think
or
the
maybe a
power
sway.
itself. I think the power itself kind of tells us that no roll's necessary. So,
Okay.
all right. So I guess you are. It is going to attempt to possess you then.
Lovely.
So do you want to take an action to try to so you are now a giant version of Tina, and you have its attention, but now it's like, oh, this is a more powerful creature for me to take over. So yeah, it wants to go for you now. But I guess basically this buys you some time. So you have enough time to take an action, or Hollis or Elise, to take an action before it makes an attempt to actually possess you.
Okay. Just look.
Possess them.
So what kind of spirit is this? It's like a spirit, or is it like a dead person spirit? Is it like a spirit that an animist would summon, or
I would say as a Baba, you could probably do some kind of gather information roll to get some relevant information.
yeah, okay. I'll do. Let me see this one. Let me do a target, and I will target the spiritual essence of this creature to determine its I don't know, spiritness. What's the word?
It sounds more like focus might be appropriate. To just sort of get like a essential understanding of it without necessarily like studying it, more like just sort of knowing. If that makes sense. I think target would probably be reduced effect, but focus would probably be standard effect.
I'll take it. I've got more dots than that.
Okay.
Since it's focus, would I be able to assign a willpower to help out? Or is this kind of like a protection roll on me? So I don't know.
No. I think because of the unique position you're in right now where it's very focused on you, I think that, by basically you just sort of dodging around, you could spend a willpower and give her a bonus die. It gives her, you're buying her some extra time to really sort of mentally reach out to it. Does that make sense?
I'll expend a willpower, do some slaloms, and then I'll buy Hollis some more time.
I got a partial success.
Okay. So that's, you get 2 questions.
Let's see. What is its purpose here? And what do I have to do to make it go away?
Was one of the other things you were interested in is whether or not it's from or related to the underworld?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say that's kind of a freebie for being a Baba. Yes, it is underworld related. So the other 2 questions were, what's its purpose here?
Mm-hmm.
It is trying to cause chaos and get revenge for what you've done to Roger.
Well, why though? All right. Well, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to make it leave?
How can we?
Probably a banishment would be your would be a solid, a definitely solid way out. But there might be some other ththings you could do.
Is that like a skill? Like a thing that you can have?
I think there's an animist power.
An animist power. Baba should get an exorcism spell.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes to things that are related to the underworld.
Yeah.
Huck some grave dirt in its face. No. Bad.
Underworld Oracle could probably assist with that. Because you can understand whispers from the underworld.
Yeah, but it doesn't say anything about getting rid of unwanted spirits.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a direct thing, but it could be an indirect thing. Does anyone have Madeline's character sheet pulled up, or can you
I can
pull it
pull it up
up
really quick. Let me see.
and see if they have vanishing?
I don't think so.
I do not believe that's the case.
No, they have the Talon, and that's the only general power they have. They have Commune with Spirits, Breath of Life, and Reveal the Inner Self.
Okay. Commune with spirits might help, but again, it's better not to try to use another person's character while they're not here. But if they had banish, I would be like, well, go ahead and maybe try commanding them to use banish.
What
But I
about
think you've got.
What about Siphon Life?
Mm-hmm.
Could I siphon the spirit's life off? You know?
Is that the one that heals you?
Yeah,
Do you have any wounds?
I do.
Oh, okay.
And I don't mind giving myself a few more to take care of these guys.
It's like your
Yeah,
ear and your hand, isn't it? I don't
It's just
have
my
yours.
ear at this point.
What's that, level 1 or 2?
It's level 1.
Okay.
But seriously, I will take out my knife and like cut myself so that I can have more wounds to heal. And
Okay.
yeah.
Trigger for
All right.
self-harm.
Yeah. Do you want to hold off on that as a last resort, or go ahead and try that now?
I'll try it with the harm that I already have and see if it works. And if
Okay.
it works, then I will continue to have some harm.
Okay.
Oh yes,
In that case,
start stabbing you repeatedly.
Just for good
That's
measure, rub one of the glowing mushrooms in it.
that's a focus roll, and it doesn't cost you any essence
Okay. Where's my
because
map?
it's just level 1 harm.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to take a Fey bargain or anything?
Not for this first one.
Okay.
It's a 2.
Okay. So we're gonna go to desperate rather than that, and we're gonna say you reach through the smoke to try to touch it, and it's moving really quickly, and you're not sure if you just didn't get enough of a handful,
Yeah.
or if it's because it's incorporeal, but it didn't react to the spell.
And I assume my wound didn't get any better.
Right.
Okay. And that was an essence?
Mm-mm.
No?
No. Level 1 harm costs 0 essence.
Okay. Okay.
So it will soon be trying to possess you, Seth.
Okay. So I need to do some kind of evade or resist roll.
Well, you need to do
Sure.
something to kill it, darling.
We don't know how to kill it.
Well, it's
Your dire form.
Lay it away.
Your dire form also wears off pretty quickly, so you're
Okay.
starting to look like normal Tina again.
No, now I just have a 4-pack.
Punch it in the gut before things go too much worse.
So I've kind of always wanted to be possessed, as a Baba. That's a thing. Maybe we just let it possess me, and since I'm so small, you guys could handle me pretty well if I tried to do anything crazy. And maybe it would just talk about what it wants, and then we could trace it back to the obviously Babas that have put it here and take care of it.
How do we convince it to possess you, darling?
I could use my feat of incredible physical force and suck it in and blow it into Hollis's mouth.
That's amazing. I think that has a good chance of working.
Okay.
It's a shame we didn't
So,
Roger alive. We could have had his friends possess him.
Yeah, we're a little quick on the draw there.
Probably should be less trigger happy.
so that would be one essence to go back into dire form to pull off
Okay.
that feat.
Would I need to do 2 willpower to push myself?
I don't think you need to, but you could if you want to get increased effect or anything. I think it depends on what action you want to roll. I think brawl makes a lot of sense because you're trying to get a huge
I'm trying
amount
to
of it real
overpower
close
it,
to
I
you.
guess.
Yeah.
Either brawl
Um,
or like finesse, maybe. But I don't know. I
Review.
think brawl works. I think in the overpowering of like I'm gonna take over its like form kind of thing. Just so maybe I really want this to work, so I think I'll just do the 2 willpower to push myself for increased effect because I
Okay.
did regain a bunch back, and we'll see if this helps out.
Can I share some of the willpower or give some extra? Because I'm it's kind of a group action, and I'm our setup action maybe. Like I'm getting in a really good stance to receive.
Yeah.
Hollis is getting
fears.
their mouth nice
Yeah.
and wide, just like
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I would say you could spend 1 willpower to give an assist.
Awesome.
Okay. Awesome. Okay,
So
I
that's
have no
plus
idea
1
how
die.
many. This is plus 1 die, and how does that work for my? I don't add any die for the plus 2 willpower. It's just it changes my effect
No,
You can choose.
because I want to do the 2 willpower regardless to push myself while doing dire form because I want increased effect. So that doesn't change
Yep.
my amount of dice I use, but that just increases my
Right.
chance. Okay.
Yeah. So you're gonna
So-
be a desperate action, standard effect with brawl, and then you can
Plus
spend
1 die
willpower
from
to
Hollis.
either increase effect or and you're gonna get plus 1 die from Hollis,
Okay.
and then
So I'm going to
plus
do
1 die
dire
or
form.
increased effect.
Okay, so I'm going to do my
From
dire
your
form,
push.
expend 1 essence. I'm going to do increased effect by using 2 willpower. Hollis's extra dice is going to give me 2 dice to roll, and we'll see how this goes.
Sweet.
It's 2, right? Yeah, because I have 1 in brawl already, so with Hollis that gives me 2. Partial success, you do it at a cost of 4.
Okay.
the cost is
Okay.
that pale smoke monster.
It's like, oh, he's a little bit of him is in my nose.
Yeah. Yeah, let's say enough of the smoke gets into you that you're going to have you're having this massive coughing fit that's going to make it really difficult for you to do basically your lungs are compromised right now, but
Don't
whatever
We
the
say
major
It's not
could say
COVID-19. I just
No.
We
inhaled
could say my lungs are dried out, and that would affect my casting style, maybe.
Ooh, yeah.
Should I put that under harm or just list that as something else?
I say don't bother listing it. It's going to wear off relatively quickly. But yeah, we'll say that it impacts your casting style if you want, if that comes up.
Okay.
Sure. So actually, that gives you a little extra information about it. It comes from a part of the underworld that is hot.
Ooh. Am I possessed
So
now?
Hollis is possessed
Yay!
because you were successful. Hollis is possessed.
Oh my god, what a
What
sentence.
does it feel like to be possessed?
Very hot.
Okay.
You are but all of your autonomic activity turns off. So you aren't sweating even though it feels very hot. But yeah, you are sharing a mind now with this other creature. You can hear all of its thoughts, but you can't project anything out of your body.
Okay. Can I have a
And so
conversation with it inside of me?
Yeah, I'm gonna say your speak to the dead works on it because it's in your body and you count as a corpse effectively right now.
Ooh, I'm a corpse.
Living the dream. Hollis doesn't need any downtime this session. They're on cloud 9 right now.
Yeah. That is definitely a clip coming out of this. All
Keep
right.
that sentence alone. You were successful. Hollis is possessed.
So,
Can I
yeah,
attempt to cast mental takeover right after this happens and join the conversation?
What is happening right now?
Wow, that's interesting. I don't see why not.
Let's do it.
Let's
this
give it a
is
bloody
so
try, why don't we?
I'm just trying to write all this down. This is too good.
I mean, for the most part, I imagine if there's too much company inside Hollis's head, it is not going to be too happy with their choice of, well, not choice, the entity they have been forced to possess. Oh, I was typing the wrong button.
So should we
So
do a
shall I-
quick gather info, or do we want to wait and let Elise in?
Let's let Elise in. Get
All
in
right, join the party.
Three-way inside Hollis's head. It's a partial success.
Okay.
So I'd reach in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of full.
It's real dirty.
Oh,
It feels gross. Yeah.
well, that already feels like the forfeit there.
How is there grave dirt in here?
It's a real Three's Company situation. You can barely sense Hollis in there at all. She's just like an echo of a whisper. But this other thing is in there, and you're able to. You've got it fully taken over. However,
Ooh.
as your partial success, there is a cost, and since we are in desperate, those costs are a little bit high. The
Yeah.
other smoke monster pops out of the ground underneath you and enters your torpid corpse.
Oh no.
So your body is going to be possessed as well.
Can I resist that? Or is that impossible?
Yeah, you can. No.
All right.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah, torpor is an
mental takeover has the same strain as the physical.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say that I'm in torpor for mental takeover.
Okay, good. Well, in that case, yeah, you definitely can resist.
All right. Then I will attempt to resist as I am. So I am resisting my mind being invaded while I am invading the mind of a creature that has invaded the mind of my coven mate. Very straightforward.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best day ever.
We've all been there.
Exactly. Yes, it's a normal Wednesday night. So I shall attempt to hold strong and ensure that I am not possessed. I failed horribly, my god. Oh no.
Wow. Okay, so that's going to cost you 3 willpower.
Oh, dang.
Oh dear.
And that was triple ones.
Wow.
Really quite bleak, isn't it?
Holy.
Goodness.
That
One
is
would think
by far
3
the
die, that's
worst.
quite unlikely.
Was that a desperate situation, though?
It was a resist rather than a desperate action. So you fight it off, but it is going to. I feel like it's going to cause some kind of like post-traumatic distress or something. You can
Yellow
decide how you want to play that out. Does that make sense?
It certainly does. Shall I list that as just a trauma outright?
I'm thinking like a temporary trauma. Actually, why don't you just choose a trauma to take on for the remainder of the undertaking?
All right. Paranoid makes sense.
Mm-hmm. This thing just came right up out of the ground and snatched you while you were distracted, or tried to.
So I shall not know from this point on whether my thoughts are my own or whether they've been implanted in me.
Oh, I like that. So yeah, you have resisted it, but you don't know for sure that you have.
Mm.
I love that.
Mhm.
Okay. Hollis, do you want to go ahead and do a gather info on your invading
Yeah.
spirit?
Yeah. What should I roll?
I think that's usually well, actually, that's one of them you get to pick. So
I feel like
study or focus,
yeah,
maybe?
I was thinking focus just because I am currently dealing with a spirit inside of my own body. So I feel
Two
like
spirits.
focus would probably be the best way for me to do
Yeah.
that.
Two spirits.
Yeah.
I'm
And
here too, darling.
and this definitely can be a group action.
I think I need to do a group focus.
That makes sense. Since I'm there literally inside of your brain.
Mhm.
I can lead this action, so I'll take the willpower if there is any.
So this is going to be group focus
Mm-hmm.
or study. Okay.
Am I participating in this?
You're in nobody's
don't-
brain except your own, darling.
Oh, I
Me and
failed.
Tina are just discussing the weather at this point.
Oh, I didn't actually press the button.
Oh
It's a failure.
no.
Wow. How much
Okay.
willpower is that?
Oh no.
That's 2 willpower. Well,
Okay.
that's a total of 3 willpower.
Yeah.
But additionally,
Uh-oh.
that's 1 experience for Elise
Ooh.
in
My goodness, my
the-
first traumatic experience. How wonderful.
but the 2 of you are now about to face desperate consequences.
Am
I
I able to
think-
do some kind of command to Tina to be like, maybe we should like help you do something?
Yeah, at least you guys, it's like 2 on 2. I think that both of you are getting possessed. Like, they are the spirit is shaking off all of the effects you have. So you're not Hollis is not going to be able to gather information from it, and Elise is going to get ejected, and the other being is going to try to take over Elise again.
Oh my god. They're insatiable. Incessant.
So, Elise, do you want to try to resist the possession?
Logically, I should. So, I shall do.
How bad are you off on willpower?
I still have 4 left, so it's unlikely
Okay.
to trauma me out, but who knows? Maybe I'll get 3 1s again, and I'll be quite close.
Oh,
Wasn't good.
all right. This time it takes you so much more force to expel this being. But you are able to exhale all of the smoke back out of your body after your eyes had already turned black from it being taken over. You were
The
still
benefit
able to
of being a
manage.
chain smoker.
I am going to take another quick break, if you don't mind, and we will be back on that cliffhanger.
All right, well, perhaps I should go out for a smoke. All this chat has me stirred up.
I'm pretty sure you did just go for a smoke. Just exhaled a spirit.
We'll be
Do I
right
get
back.
high off of that?
And we're back. Sorry about the delay. Okay, so I think where we left off, Hollis was well and truly completely possessed. Elise had just managed to fight off possession.
Twice.
And and Tina and Seth are trying to formulate a plan to get out of this situation when Hollis starts vomiting up yellow goo and then starts speaking in gravelly tones.
I make sure to leap back as far as I bloody well can so it doesn't get on my fancy new dress.
What do I say?
So it says, how dare you call us wretches? And it peers over at Elise. After what you did to our coven mate, his body was for us, for the ritual, not for you.
Well, you can have the body. We don't have any use for that. Or what is left of it, at least.
Well,
But you can't have Hollis, and you can't have me, and you can't have Tina. And if you want anything more than that,
I like you conveniently left out Seth.
well, you don't even know where Seth is. All they've seen is a crowd.
Tina and Mega Tina.
Tina, or us. Okay. So he says, or the gravelly voice says, you have released Roger's body from the torment and given us everything we wanted. And it vomits itself back out of Hollis's body.
I look down in disgust and say, "You're welcome."
The two smoke spirits then pass back through the door out into the common area that you froze that was full of the crabs.
They at least take some crabs with them. Help clean up.
The Roger skeleton, did they take that?
Oh, yeah,
Are
they
you
take
going to
most of
open
them.
the door and find out what's going on out there?
They're going to take that bow tie you worked so hard on, darling.
Either that or all that's left is the bow tie.
Either way, it's fine.
Tina runs over and picks up her bearded dragon and pets it on the head and apologizes for hurling it across the room earlier. Content warning: animal abuse.
And a bearded dragon at that. They're saintly creatures.
So sweet.
I'll have to bring ours out. He's sitting across from me, but he's asleep right now. Maybe next week.
Yeah, I want to open the door and see what they're doing, if they're going to take any Roger bones.
Okay. So
They take
you
his
see
one
the
good leg.
you open up the door and frozen crabs sort of fall into the doorway. And you see the two smoke spirits congregate around Roger's corpse and draw a third smoke spirit out of his body. And the three of them swirl up together like a braid and then shoot straight up through the ceiling and out into the sky.
That's
Well,
probably something we're going to have to deal with eventually.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a problem for later.
Reunited, and it feels so icky.
I I will
So-
check that off the list of things Hollis has wanted to do. Be possessed.
I start stomping on the crabs because I'm now paranoid and unsure whether any of them are going to suddenly unfreeze.
Yeah, they could be possessed.
They could be only slightly frozen.
Mhm.
I'm neurotic, so I guess I'll stomp on them as well. We're just
I
having a
guess that's
stomping,
what we're
crunching.
doing.
You're just coming out of possession, so stomping might seem logical.
All right.
Tina's just
And
watching us crunch all these crabs, just like, what did I
We're
want?
going to
These
take
guys
a
are-
trip out to Louboutin soon to replace all of our heels.
the consummate follower, she sees all of you stomping on crabs, and she just gets to stomping.
I'm gonna hand her a broom and be like, "You can stomp and sweep."
All right. So sorry about that. That was your downtime. Now that you're almost out of willpower again.
My God, I'm about to trauma out.
Yeah, and you just feel absolutely beaten down, like in all ways. Just the knowledge that such creatures could come here and do these things to you. Yeah, no, I was telling Anya a moment ago while we were on break that oh, and now I've lost my train of thought. Oh, that nope, still not coming to me. Dang.
To get
It was something that you had a little insight into, but I can't remember what it was now. That
something to do with them being from a hot place in the underworld.
crabs.
Just all bold letters. Crabs. That's all we learned.
Episode 6, crabs.
What we've learned is that I'm relatively impervious to possession.
Yeah.
I just want to know if crabs are still my rival at this point.
Absolutely.
I think even more so.
I think you can strike Tina from that list, though.
Yay, I guess would she just be moved to a contact, or would I completely remove her?
I think she's
Yeah,
terrified.
you could bring her to a contact.
She has been
Definitely
downgraded.
Not positive, though.
No.
And Anya, you can upgrade Roger to Roger's Coven,
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
but you can leave it the same level.
Okay.
I mean, there wasn't much we could do at that point. They're all smoke people. Let them have their day, and we'll go out and kill them when they're physical.
Maybe when Madeline comes back. I wonder if they waited until she left to show up, like worried that since she was an animist, she might be able to do something to them. So
It's a
they
shame
waited till she left.
on the mainland, or
Yeah,
Lightning.
probably.
lightning could have got involved.
Well, all of my
Visiting.
energy is going into my getting things. This is not happening again.
So, any undertakings that the rest of you were interested in taking on?
We do have that directions to give Jack his coin back.
Ooh, that could be a real quick one. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And ideally one where we don't have to spend too much willpower.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Impersonate Jesus. Although it would be nice. Worked out well last.
Did.
I mean, why did you choose a crab this time? You could have just been Jesus again.
And then you could have walked across the crabs. Okay. Job types. See, I think this was a courier job that they wanted you to do. To take that token to Jack of Shadow Dawn.
We spoke with the Banshee and got directions.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the one who gave us the directions, or was it somebody else? I feel like it may have been somebody else.
I think it was the dying Nereid siren.
Yeah, it was the dying. It was a sea mom. I dove down to try to see if I could do anything, and she just died in my arms.
Yep.
Must have been something you said.
Just my breath.
How would you spell it underwater?
It was that
Fish
bad.
people.
Fish people.
They
You
can
think-
smell underwater.
Okay. So right now you have a little bit of information that this Jack fella is a member of Shadow Dawn,
Mm-hmm.
and that you're doing a courier job to bring that silver token to him. And I think that's about it. So you might want to gather some
Somebody at the Fey Market told us to go where to go and how to approach him in Central Park.
That's right. Yep, they told you to find. Yep, to find the arch. That's right.
And to look up.
And we had to walk through it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And something about circling it a few times.
Yep, Widdershins. Okay, well, in that case, it sounds like you probably have all the instructions you need. We can do just a little engagement roll, and just make sure everything goes smoothly.
Give me like 5 minutes to brush my teeth. I don't taste this yellow goo anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So that is a risky start. So who is doing the ritual, going around the around and under the arch? And is that person carrying the token with them?
I currently have the token in my personal asset, so maybe I'm doing it.
Okay. And what are the other two of you doing?
I'm just going to follow her through the ritual and do the steps alongside.
I'm
Okay.
just going to stand watch because I'm paranoid currently.
Ah. All right.
You're just walking in like the opposite circle, just like, well, maybe we gotta do it this way.
I see a woman pushing a baby in a pram right down the way, and I pull out my dagger, just ready to stab both of them if they get any closer.
The baby spits out some yellowish liquid. Yeah. Okay. So Seth, as you come out of the arch from the third time, you see a beautiful, magnificent, backlit deer, stag, off in the distance in the woods. And above it, in a tree, you see two goblin-like fey creatures that are preening each other up there.
Hollis is like, can I join?
I'm a goblin.
They hop down from the tree, and both of them pull jagged-looking daggers, and brush back their hair, and you can see red bandanas that they're wearing.
Oh my god, there's blood.
And they both come like running toward you, almost like tiny little apes, and running toward you with their, knuckles on the ground with these jagged daggers. And the deer goes running off to one side and then pauses for a moment and looks back at Seth, and then continues running. and you get the feeling that you need to get to that deer.
Okay.
Oh no. Be a deer.
Am I the only one through the arch at this point?
You and Hollis are through the arch, but Elise is not far behind, and you can see all this as well.
Hollis, you're small. You want to climb on my back and we go for a ride as a deer?
Yes. 100%.
Alrighty. Just grab onto my antlers and we'll just go beeline it for him. Okay. Is that possible?
But you, Elise.
Since they're going to leave me on my bloody own, am going to attempt to cast Physical Takeover on one of the gobs that's charging me.
Okay.
I would also like to leave Ribert with Elise, because Elise is paranoid and by themselves.
I do not want your bloody filthy frog, darling. Ruining my fancy gown.
You already have, like, spirit vomit all over you.
I jumped away from that.
Cleaned up. Okay. Which one do we want to handle first? I think shape-shifting is kind of a free action, so
Okay.
you want to be a...
I'll just be a stag, so that way
Okay.
Hollis can hang onto my antlers and we can just go flying after this deer.
And try to
Okay.
mate when you get to them.
All right, Hollis. I think that might require some kind of roll, if that's what you're interested in doing.
Yeah.
Usually riding is based on finesse, but I could see other arguments being made.
I have, if I'm still wearing my hood at this time, if Hollis is small enough, just stuff them in my hood. Like a little saddle.
Yeah, I think shape-shifting and worn magical items don't really mix.
I'm still trying to imagine a crab in that hood.
Can I use brawl to hold on really tight? I'm using my whole body, like arms and legs, to hold on. That's like a brawl move.
Yeah, you're like wrestling the antler, basically, to stay on. I'm down with that, yeah.
Okay, good.
I think it's gonna be like reduced effect. You're like dangling.
Sure,
But yeah, you still have a good chance.
We'll see.
And
I failed.
Oh
okay.
no!
So Seth takes the first turn, heading toward the other stag, and Hollis goes sprawling into the path, and nearly bowls over one of the red caps, and it descends on her, and it's screeching for fruit, and putting it and jabbing its daggers toward your neck.
That's not how you get fruit.
But that is definitely the one I want to target then.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and physically take over that filthy gob. And because this seems like quite a dire action, I'm going to call on the Fae to help me.
Okay. How about it costs you 3 Fae bargain because you're dealing with the Fae directly?
My goodness. Well, all right.
And the weakened mental state from the paranoia maybe plays a factor.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, yeah, because you're in its body. Yeah.
I'm in all sorts of terrible condition. It's a complete success, though.
Nice.
Yay!
Yay, I'm not getting stabbed.
All right, yeah, you find yourself in a unique point of view, being so low to the ground, but hovering over Hollis with two daggers, and the other one's at your back. You can tell it's your inferior. It's a little smaller than you, um, and it's sort of jumping up and down and like, when is it my turn? Which one do I go after? You know, that kind of thing.
At least it's 2 against 1 now.
Well, I mean, I'm used to things being my inferior, but no patience for this. So I turn around and I attempt to jab this dagger right into its neck.
Okay.
So I'm already prepared.
We'll have to be
Kill me
careful
so
about the
fast.
speech to text on that one.
I got neck and dagger tied up in my tongue.
Nice.
Dagger right in the neck, if I can. And I
Yeah.
assume that would be
Generally,
I would say-
brawl. Generally. But since you are going for the neck specifically, I could see finesse as well.
right. I was thinking more so the finesse, just because they don't even know that I'm trying to attack them until I'm already going at them.
That makes sense.
All right. Well, I will try that. And at any rate, hopefully Hollis feels encouraged to join in once they've righted themselves. It's a failure.
Okay. I think you're not used to this little body of yours. One of the daggers just comes right out of your hand, and the other one wasn't even aimed at the neck, so it just sort of slashes the air. And the other creature, the other redcap, looks shocked. Just
Very confused.
and it can tell there's something with your eyes that's just, it's not what it's used to seeing.
This is for sleeping with my wife.
I am your
and
wife.
And it takes its jagged dagger and shoves it up your chin.
Oh, that's
Do
one problem solved.
you want to resist
like a
it, or just
win-win.
go ahead and?
No, that seems perfect.
Okay. All right. It just comes straight up, pierces the bottom part of its brain, and you are returned to your body. And you have a nasty bump on your head from falling to the side, and you see a mom with a pram standing over your body, trying to give you first aid.
How thoughtful. And here I thought
But
she
you-
was the enemy.
But you see that yellow goo on her shirt, and you can't abide that.
I wake up screaming, "Filth! Disgusting filth! My God, get away from me, you filthy breeder!"
She shakes her head. Can't believe that's the second time that's happened to me today.
She must have just come from Greenwich.
All right, Seth, you are still successfully chasing the stag if you want to be, unless you want to stop and try to pick Hollis back up.
No,
Oh,
just go.
I thought I was far away from Hollis at this point. I thought that's why I
That
wasn't helping
makes
with the
sense.
fight.
That makes sense to me. So I think you're gonna need to do a little something to catch up. You can decide what that is. It's just dodging between trees and running quickly away from you.
Turn into a cheetah, darling.
Oh, what's a cheetah, darling? What's the matter, baby?
It's what my new coat's made out of.
Ooh.
Maybe I turn into a bat and attempt to chase
Ooh.
it through the trees.
Okay.
So.
Shape-shifting is free, but if you want to take an action,
Like, am I losing ground on it? Is there? I need to do something to try to bridge the gap, or am I just
I
trying
think-
to keep up?
well, I think going to the sky is probably a smart idea. You'll be able to track it pretty easily from up there. Maybe just wait for it to come to a stop.
Okay.
If it doesn't hear you tromping behind it.
Okay, I think I'll do that then. I'll transform into a bat. Bat.
You want to do like a prowl to silently follow it?
I think so. I don't want to lose it, but I'm getting close to willpower, so I don't have any Fey bargains right now. So I'll take a Fey bargain, so I can get a little bit more on prowl. What's that gonna do to me?
They're going to turn into the world's ugliest bat.
The ugly bats are cute bats.
It's true, the uglier they are, the cuter they get. The ones with the weird little heart-shaped noses are the most adorable ones of all.
How about bats are a ill omen for this faction?
Okay.
And so when you're spotted, they're going to just treat that as like, why did she choose that? Is she trying to slight us?
Okay.
So it'll be offend a
Work on your
faction.
cultural diplomacy, darling.
Okay. Let's try the ghost. Partial
Hey.
success at a 4, you do it at a cost. Would that just be
Okay.
a yeoman thing? Or would that be something
Remove
additional?
separate cost.
Probably be something extra. So
I also
just-
still have a mangled hand under my harm for level 2, so I don't know if that would come into play. If I'm flying lopsided.
Smack into a tree.
I think you get pretty close to it, but it kicks at you like a donkey kick, and then takes off again. So
Okay.
you've caught up to it, but yeah, you'll need to do something else to actually stop it. It's not going to stop for a bat.
Okay.
You could
Can
maybe
I
fly
attempt to
directly
fly
over it, and
I was gonna say, like, could I attempt to fly directly in front of it and hold the token in my toes? Just to be like, hey, hello, this is yours, I think.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you want to use for that?
Maybe, since it tried to kick me and I kind of lost a little bit of ground on it, would finesse be appropriate to kind of like have to try to weasel my way back in front?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like finesse your way like between trees to get in front of it, and then
Okay.
already be prepared with the token in the right place and everything. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
I think spring could have also worked too.
Okay.
But yeah, that's really good. I like that.
Debating if I do any willpower bargains to help me out here because I only have 1 point in finesse. Sure, let's do another Fey bargain.
Okay.
They are going to come collecting soon at this point.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah, I mean, Hollis had a dangerous episode. You had a dangerous episode. It's my turn?
I mean, I'm still in my dangerous episode, darling. One more willpower and I pass out.
Hmm.
Wake up with
How
an
about
unstable mouth.
appear to betray a friend? So
Okay.
what this would look like would be that you end up, it takes you so long to get into the right position that you have gone so far into the forest, there is no way the two of them are catching back up to you.
Okay.
And so they both feel like, wow, like she didn't just leave us, but they like took off. And it'll take until you come back before they're like, maybe we'll forgive you.
Elise said too many racist fish things, and it set me off.
And I'm quite paranoid right now as well.
Mm.
That's true. She's like, oh, that stupid fish left for somebody else.
So I'm going to stab you the moment I see you.
Oh no.
So that'll give you +1 die.
Okay.
To my stabbing.
Stabbing as an assist. In this session, that seems like that could actually happen.
I mean, we're strange and brutal, so I think it works. Here we go.
Oh,
It's a
no.
failure. Dang it. A failure with a 2.
Okay, I think you're going to lose the token in the underbrush.
Okay.
That you might want to resist.
Yeah.
And also,
I'm about
you
to get
get-
echolocate for it.
maybe. And you get like head butted,
Okay.
and that's why you get separated from the coin.
Okay. But I put that under harm.
Yeah, that's going to be level 2 harm.
Level 2 head bump.
Concussed. Yeah.
Bump on the noggin. Sorry, I have a glass that's precariously on the edge. I'm just getting rid of it.
Uh-oh.
What that means is that I have to create another cocktail.
And we'll hop back to Hollis and Elise and see what they're up to real quick.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
I mean, Hollis, you just watched one goblin stab another.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are they're very different than the gobs that you've met. They're definitely some kind of fey creature. But they do have some things in common with Hollis. She's about 3 times as big as they are.
Oh my
yeah,
god,
I'm
that's
tall.
small.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to be tall for once, Hollis?
Very exciting.
When they're sort of all gorillaed up, they definitely look real small. They're only about, I don't know, 16 inches tall.
Oh. Just
But
wanted to
those
put it in my
daggers,
pocket.
are like, long enough to get your heart.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
so
pick up one of
these are
the
long swords, but they're goblin.
Hollis?
I want to pick up one of the daggers and
Okay.
just wield it to protect myself if this thing tries to come at me.
Just pulling that one dagger out of the other one's face.
Yeah, I think the two of you sort of have the numbers advantage now. So unless you pursue it, it's probably going to run off.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna chase it down.
You're not?
No, I don't want. I don't
Okay.
want to.
I am. I'm going to throw a dagger at it.
All
I'm
right.
going to rub my poor bloody head, pick up my throwing dagger, and just toss it out of anger right in front of the woman and her baby.
The filthy woman, yes.
Yes, exactly. I don't give a damn what this tape thinks.
All right.
And it's a partial success.
Okay. This was a kill shot, or do you care?
I don't care, but it is a fine dagger, by my understanding. Yes.
Oh. Okay. It hits the creature in the shoulder, and it falls forward, and the dagger sticks through its shoulder into the tree, and it's sort of pinned against the tree. And you watch as it wiggles its shoulder until its shoulder comes out of the back of the dagger, and it gets free and starts climbing the tree. And it grabs the dagger and wiggles it free from the tree and carries it with it back up the tree.
You lost your dagger.
Hollis, darling, please set that bloody tree on fire. Also, I make complete eye contact with the woman who just helped me. In the most menacing way possible. For no aim.
trying to get her as a rival too.
As a rule, I try to intimidate everyone I come across. Keeps everyone.
Well, I never.
Alicia has resting bitch face 24/7.
It's true. It's
Seth,
autism.
did you want?
But it's true.
Seth, did you want to resist either of those things? The concussion or losing the token?
I'd rather not lose the token, so I'll take the harm of being concussed, and I'll try to do a resist for losing the token.
I think that would be insight to sort of see the way it's coming at you and know where the coin went.
Okay. And that's just exclamation mark, my insight number, and R?
Yep.
Okay. You reduce or resist the effect and spend 1 willpower out of 4. Okay.
All right.
So
So
2 bouts of 3.
you dive into the underbrush and you come back up with the shiny silver coin as you watch the creature turn in a new direction and begin to run off.
Maybe a bigger bird.
We're going to need a bigger
Call
bird.
back for the albatross.
Why not try a rock? Is that possible?
Mythical creatures require a different spell. But yeah, they are. If you get a rock feather or a rock's beak or something like that and get the right power, you can turn into one. Yep.
Okay.
But until then, limited to eagles and albatross.
Yeah, you could do an albatross and then go dire form. a baby rock.
Yeah, I get. Well, I'm probably weaving between trees and big animals. Probably not the
The
best.
question is, does a cassowary run faster than a bat would fly through a forest?
Oh, they're terrifying. Just
I do not
dinosaurs
have
that
an
don't
answer.
work. Maybe I just turn into an owl at this point, so I can still see in the dark.
Cool.
Do I need to do anything for
Like
that?
bats who famously do not even exist at nighttime.
Because
Not to
now it's getting
shapeshift.
away from me. So.
It's just starting to, so whatever you want to do, basically you just need to get its attention while you have the token, I think, at this point.
Would target be appropriate?
Sure.
Or maybe actually I don't have any. I was gonna say command, just kind of let it like a screech, but I don't have any points in command to get its attention. So I'll do a target, I guess. I really don't want to get another Fey bargain at this point, and I only have 2 willpower left, so I'll just do it as it is.
Okay.
I already forget what I was going to target. Okay.
So
Failure.
what does that look like? What does that look like?
Maybe
Your target.
Oh wait, you know what? My casting spell should be messed up. I didn't account for that this whole time, so maybe my transformation doesn't work.
You just
Yeah.
you turn back in. You're flying, and you turn back into yourself.
And I just
And
splat.
yeah.
That might get its attention now.
Yeah. So
Maybe.
I'm gonna say you have its attention. However, with a one,
Sorry, because I fell out of the sky, should I upgrade my concussed from 2 to 3?
that's well, let's add a 3 and
Okay.
let's do dislocated shoulder
Okay.
from the fall. And you're gonna gain 1 experience for the rolling a 1.
Okay.
And that would be in
That
the
would
attribute.
be I was doing target, so that would be insight.
Okay.
Woo!
So it is now squaring off with you. You have its attention, but now its attention is violent.
Oh no. Okay.
You show him the coin.
Yeah, I want to wave the coin around and just be like, I don't really want to fight you, dude. Like, this is yours.
Just turn into a firefly and have the light reflect off the coin, make it like a rave.
Firefly rave.
Darude Sandstorm.
Can I just shout at it? Like, I have something of yours?
Yeah. Since you're back in fish form,
Yeah, since I'm back
fish
in
person.
my fish person.
Yeah.
Would that be a consort that I have to try?
That sounds good to me.
Okay. I have 0 points in consort, so I think I don't have any other choice to... Wait, I can take 5 fruits to improve things, right?
Have you considered working on your social skills, darling?
How about sway?
Sway? Yeah, I have a point in sway.
That also would make sense.
Okay, I'll try that because I'm worried I'm gonna trauma out if I use power.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that. Fingers crossed. Also
Oof.
a failure at it too.
Okay.
The fall also punctured my vocal cords.
All right. So this deer rears up like it's going to kick you with its front legs, and you see 2 additional sets of legs sprout from its chest, and its head twists and contorts into a spider head, and it starts shooting web at you, and the web starts covering your body, and it starts climbing up into one of the trees, and continues to shower you with web as you're trying to get up with the coin in your hand.
Okay.
We knew while operating in New York there was a risk we'd run into Spider-Man. Dear.
So we're going to go to desperate, which you could resist, and you're immobilized, which you can also resist.
Okay.
But I think either of those things might trauma you out.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna
You know
cover.
what? I still have essence, and it only my dire form only requires essence, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Could I attempt to use that to break out of the webbing?
Yeah, that sounds like a feat.
Okay.
What do you want to turn into?
A wasp.
A wasp. Maybe I'll turn into an equally big spider.
Ooh. It's like a massive tarantula.
Yeah. Just go climbing after him.
Rookie
Yeah, that
move,
should make
darling.
you.
Tarantulas aren't threatening in the slightest.
Just little
That should make
kiwis
you.
with legs.
Aw. That should make you easy enough to slip out of the web because you're also a spider.
Yeah, I've got all the oils and everything, so I can like slip away.
Yeah.
Do I need to do any rolls or anything for that, or is my essence enough for that to get me out?
Yeah, I think that's good enough. But if you're still trying to get its attention and show it the token, you might want to make an action. But yeah, I think that's definitely enough to get you free.
Just make a big web that says "good token," like Charlotte.
You know what? Yeah, sure, we'll try that. But I don't have any points in craft. I feel like that's the most appropriate. You know what? Yeah. Does that make sense if I do craft? I really don't know
give
what
it a
else I
shot.
would do for a web. So
You're not
I don't have
supposed to
any.
actually take my joke suggestions to heart, darling.
I mean, it's fun. That's what we're here for.
Battle of the Webs.
So I'm terrified I'm going to trauma out if I do that. So I will do another Fey bargain, even though that's probably going
Okay.
to put me in a bad spot. I'm in dire straits right now.
Is there a
See.
way I could at least send Little Whisper ahead? I don't expect he'll reach them right away, given that they were moving so swiftly.
Well, I think part of my thing is that, like, you guys think I abandoned you at this point because I'm so far away. Like the betray the friend thing, so I don't
Oh
know.
yes,
if
Whisper's going to kill you, darling.
It's not enough that, like, I've got a mangled hand, I'm concussed, and I got a dislocated shoulder. Whisper's gonna make me itchy and get hives all over.
Well, you're the one who just wanted to betray us all.
Does anybody have an idea for a Fey bargain? I'm kind of drawing a blank.
The Fae traps forever as a spider.
Mm.
No longer a fish.
He could be stuck in spider form.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
could just not be able to transform back. That'd be good.
Okay. Yeah, so you'll lose your ability to communicate with, verbally.
I don't
So
know
you
where
only
I put that
have
on my
web.
grimoire, so I'll write that down.
Well, this has become incredibly Kafkaesque.
Sorry. Just want to make
That's
sure I
okay.
don't forget anything. Okay, here we go. Partial success at a 4,
Okay.
finally.
All right.
I'm stuck as a spider, but maybe I have spelling mistakes.
The spider leaps from the tree down toward you as you are finishing your message, and latches onto you. The legs pierce into your sides, causing you an additional level 1 harm.
Oh no.
And
I guess
then
just like side wounds, I'd write that.
Yeah. And then the spider head turns into a smiling humanoid-like head, and you hear a tiny voice. Well, why didn't you just say so? And it shoves you to the ground.
Jack, you ass!
And then finishes turning into this boyish-looking, elfish gentleman. And holds out his hand to you like nothing happened.
Thanks, bye! Oh my god. Well, I guess I just give it to him. It's his, and I don't know what I'm doing with it. but it's like
He
not cool,
takes it.
man.
He takes it from you, gives it a little bite with his eye teeth, and then looks at it and throws it in a bag, and you hear it hit probably a dozen other similar coins. And he pulls the drawstring closed and smiles at you and says, we need to get back to your friends. They probably miss you.
Oh shoot. Who was it that we had to say that he owes them a favor? Was it Knife Guy? Hollis was talking when we were trying to find out how to get directions.
Yeah, I guess
I guess I can't really say that unless I do another roll, so someone can say that when we get back.
Yeah, we'll leave that to Hollis once you guys get back. So he turns back into a big stag and lets you crawl onto his back as a spider.
How
Yay.
big of a stag are we talking? I thought this was a giant bloody spider.
Well, she shrinks back down, or they shrink back down after dire form wears off.
I see.
I'm all sore now. I've got so many injuries. I can't maintain being a big speed ray. Actually, that was dire form too, so yeah, that makes sense. Now I'm just tiny spider.
Yep.
When
Yeah.
you
Goliath bird eater.
Whisper is going to give you an earful.
Yeah, so as the stag is riding back, Whisper grabs on and tags along, gets a ride back. All right, and yep, he meets up with all of you back where the arch was, and is very apologetic that everything went so poorly. He just thought that a run would be fun.
So you got one of your little goblins killed.
The tree that has the little knife mark on it turns around and looks at you and he very slowly says, "Why'd you have to stab me?" But he grabs the red cap and takes your knife from it and throws the knife so it sticks in the ground in front of you.
An unfortunate casualty, darling. My sincerest apologies.
He
This
has
decided 3 games.
He has the red cap in his tree hand, and he just hurls him backwards. And you hear him, ah! And he hits some bushes about 30 feet away. So he introduces himself to you as Bumblewood Bud. And he tells you that he apologizes in advance for Jack. He just loves to shapeshift and frolic.
We've got a shapeshifter of our own. We understand they do love to shapeshift and frolic and do nothing of value.
They probably had a really good time.
Jesus.
They probably had a really good time together. My friend Jack likes to turn into Hades, so or Zagreus.
We bonded on our way back. We're buds now. I mean, he did stab me and tie me up, but it was bonding.
He gives you some lessons. Yeah, lessons on how to shapeshift back.
Nice.
By the time you all get back, you're able to shift back into your Nereid form.
Yay!
But then I don't have to encourage Hollis to kill it with fire.
Yeah. So yeah, Hollis, I think there was somebody who made a deal with you that they would give you that information about how to find him.
Yeah, I want to say it was the guy with all the knives.
Guy with all the knives.
The 4-armed butcher.
Yeah. that guy.
He was purple, I believe, as
Gotcha.
90% of the people on that boat were.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll mention that and be like, there's a butcher back on the boat who has a whole bunch of arms, and he says that you owe him one for giving us the information where to find you to give the coin.
Okay. That'll come out of your reward, but thank you for being honest.
Ignore what the little gulp says. We all our own.
All right. So, Jack tells Bumble, pay these good people, and he shoots a web up into the trees and drags himself back up into them as he leaves. And Bumble reaches up into the top of his head into like this bowl-shaped indentation, and he pulls out a handful of fey fruits.
Ooh.
And he hands you 5 fey fruits
5.
in total.
That's spectacular. And here I was about to wonder why I even decided to shack up with all these other wild witches instead of just going to get registered like a sane person.
Well, Hollis got the directions to find him, so I think Hollis for sure deserves at least 2.
Aw.
Well, I think that was a successful undertaking.
Yeah.
That cost Seth a lot of resources.
I'm pretty messed up.
Yeah.
It's alright, darling. I used all my resources on the bloody downtime.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to get from them before you head back, or just head off to the next thing?
Yeah, does Bumble have anything that could help heal up some wounds a little bit quicker? Like helpful tree sap or something like that?
Yeah. If he got a hold of a fey fruit, he just ran out.
He can have one back.
Okay.
I'll
He
give him
crushes
mine if he can
one.
help with my stuff.
Yeah, he'll be helping you. So he crushes one into the bowl on top of his head, and then sort of washes it around, and then leans down for you to get a drink out of some water that's pooled in the top of his head.
He made you a
Scalp juice.
You gonna?
So, I guess I'll take a sip out of his scalp juice.
Roll 1 die.
1 die? Okay. As like an action? Just
Yep.
Exclamation mark 1.
Yep.
Failure.
Okay. All right. So clear 1 level 1 harm, regain 1 essence, and regain 1 willpower.
Okay.
My goodness. What a successful failure.
Some good scalp juice.
So it helped a bit. There's enough liquid there if you want to do another one.
Well, is anybody else gonna partake?
It'd cost another fey fruit.
I mean, Elise is thoroughly paranoid and frustrated that there's no chance she's going to take any of that. At this point, she's considering getting registered.
Yeah, you guys should try out some wild magic. That'll remind you why you're wild witches. It's powerful stuff.
Tempted when those shadows were annoying us so.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that would have been a potentially a good time for it. Okay, so do you want to head back and draw down the moon?
Yeah.
I mean, we can't just leave it up there in the sky looking so.
Who wants to lead that?
I don't remember who did it last.
I think Elise did it last,
I didn't really roleplay
which was
it, but I did
earlier
do it.
today.
Well, Hollis
I
had
think-
a bit of a traumatizing experience. We don't use it as inspiration for today.
Sure thing. Yeah, I'll have everybody come up to my in process graveyard. And yeah, I'll have we'll all sit down
On
and
the note of graveyards,
uh-huh.
Roger was taken. Was his body entirely taken, or just his spirit?
Nope, no, but his body's still there.
All right, so that's something to add to the graveyard.
Absolutely. I have a mass grave for all the friends.
And there you go, Tina. If you cross us, you'll be the second one.
Make a tomb, like a headstone with her name on it. It's waiting for you.
It's already
Just
prepped
a matter
and
of
ready.
time. Yep.
But yeah, sit down in the graveyard on the nice dewy grass and call down the moon.
Okay.
And that's
One die.
one die. Yay. And it's a 2.
All right.
Oh,
That's 1 willpower and 2 essence for everyone.
2 essence?
Yep.
because we said Jack taught me how to turn back. Does that mean I have to remove a Fey bargain? Because that was my third one. Or do I keep that? Because my Fey bargain was that I wasn't going to be able to turn back.
Oh yeah, it wasn't going to be permanent.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
so just untick that one then?
No, you can keep it checked. Those
Okay.
are permanent.
Okay.
Those boxes stay checked, but the effect sometimes wears off quickly.
Okay.
Until Arcana blesses us and allows us to
Yeah.
forgive it all.
So during downtime, you'll all get to remove a lot of those Fey bargain ticks because
Yeah.
of your patron spirit. All right. Well, what do you think? Should we do XP on stream or do XP just as a group together?
Well, there's only 3 of us, and it could be a bit of fun.
Yeah, should be fast-ish. So should we start with Coven XP?
Sure.
Find the coven sheet.
I am being duplicated on the screen.
Okay.
I'm envious, darling. I would kill to be able to look at more than one of myself.
Well, now there are an infinite number of morning stars on the screen.
Oh, lucky you.
Okay. So the first one is successfully completed a favorite undertaking. What kind of this was a
Courier.
so
Yeah,
not one of our favorite undertakings.
yeah, we
What are
didn't
they?
Our favorite undertaking?
Yeah.
locate an artifact
Mm-hmm.
and destroy.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, you almost got destroyed.
That counts, right?
Yeah.
We almost destroyed ourselves.
Destroy your teammate.
Get possessed.
It's one of my favorite undertakings.
Every one of us had a shadow person inside of them at some point.
The next one is contended with challenges above your current station.
Yes. In my opinion, those coven mates of Rogers are tier 2. So
Okay, and dealing with Jack is above our station. Yes.
they're tier 1 as well.
Oh, okay.
But you did deal with an important NPC from there. Yeah, I'm going to say that effectively makes him a challenge. Sure.
Awesome. Bolstered your coven's lore or acted in a manner befitting your patron. We were definitely super strange.
What are your other ones? Brutal?
Yeah.
Brutal.
Elise was pretty brutal to that lady and her baby.
I would argue the crab thing was relatively brutal as well, even if it didn't end up for us immediately.
Yeah.
Showing off Roger and then pushing his corpse over so that he could be fed on by crabs.
Okay, we get 2 for that one.
Yep.
Let's see. Last one. Express your drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the coven. We
Does
have.
my attempt to betray, like, Faye thing count as inner conflict?
That's what I was thinking. That
Yeah.
was our first time having inner coven conflict.
I mean, we certainly got tied up in the loose ends caused by our brutality, domination, and chaos, and that sort of sense.
I feel like we have a pretty big drive to get paid, so we're doing all of this to get paid.
Money
Yeah,
is
it might
power.
be time. Go ahead.
No, I just said money is power, darling. Or favorite in this instance.
Yeah, you made 50 grand today
Pretty sweet.
and then spent 10.
So that is 6 XP for the coven.
Nice.
Woohoo!
Smashing.
So we are 2 away from another upgrade.
Oh, let's do
We must
fate.
consider kind of
Oh,
arcane defenses. Or at least a large fan to blow away any smoke monsters that return.
Let's add 1 fate for contained standard exposure.
okay.
Since everything that happened was out in either in your coven or in Central Park.
Yeah.
And then same for reputation. That's 3 reputation.
3 reputation.
Yep.
Okay.
Who wants to do personal grimoire XP first?
I guess I can go first. So for many forms, I definitely changed into a bunch of things. I didn't do any familiar assistance, but I changed more than enough times to get things for many forms.
Oh yeah,
So I think I get 2 there.
absolutely.
For heritage, disposition, aspect, or belief. I don't know if I have anything for that.
What's your disposition?
Neurotic. My disposition is neurotic.
Yeah, you definitely played that up at least once that I remember.
Okay.
And your aspect?
My aspect is the tower. So my card that I have is a lighthouse on rocks with a kraken or octopus kind of crawling up the side with like lightning and storm clouds. So I don't know if any of that kind of comes into play.
I think
I'm a fish person, but
I think he took enough damage today that counts as tower.
Yeah, it's like unexpected destruction. You fell out of the air and dislocated your shoulder. That's like a classic tower card thing.
Okay, I don't know too much about how the actual meaning of the cards, so
Gotcha.
I appreciate the help.
I'll see if I can. Oh, here's the tower card in this deck that I have. See, it's just a person falling out of a tower.
Okay.
Very much apropos.
So I guess I get 2 for there.
Yeah.
And for struggles with issue with your trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm. So my casting style definitely, I had the issue with the shape shifting, so I fell out of the sky and I dislocated my shoulder. So I think that counts as 1. And my trauma is reckless, and I breathed in a spirit, and I went off on my own to chase a deer. So I think I get 2 for those as well.
Yeah,
Traitor.
absolutely.
What is my life about? Okay. So does that make sense if I get 6?
Yep, awesome.
Woo! Who's up next?
Well, Anya, darling, if you're ready, you can go, or I can go ahead. I'm not fussed either way.
I can go ahead. Let's see. No risky stuff today. Let's see. I addressed a tough challenge with wisdom or underworld.
Definitely.
I definitely used some underworld knowledge for sure. I don't know if anything I did was very wise, but I'll take one.
Would your directions to Jack count?
Freezing all of the crabs was relatively wise. I mean,
No,
That's true. Instead of burning the place down.
what else would we have done?
Utter crab destruction.
Would have been a Pyrrhic victory either way.
That works for me. So I'll take 2 for that section. Express your heritage, disposition, aspects, or beliefs. Let's see. Heritage, being a gob. I don't think it really like super expressed it. I think I talked about it once or twice, but I don't know if that counts. Disposition. My disposition is curious.
I mean, you wanted to be possessed. I think that counts.
That's the whole, yeah. That was very exciting for me.
Would
And
your heritage come into play with like trying to like ride on top of me?
yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah,
certainly
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able
being
to.
small and trying to hold on.
And your aspect is?
My aspect is the death card, so that kind of works. I dealt with underworld spirits and other Baba's work today, so
Oh, he's cool looking.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot like that red cap that you guys dealt with.
And it's got the skull that's behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's cute. I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2 for that section as well. Let's see, trauma, casting style, or consequences. I don't think I had any of that, so I'll take 4 for today.
You don't have any trauma yet, do you?
Nope.
Amazing.
I know, it's the first game I haven't traumatized out yet.
Too
Yeah, I
small
think-
for trauma.
Yeah.
I think in our first game, she took trauma in the first session and then another trauma in the second session.
Yep.
Oh no.
I honestly am amazed I didn't trauma out this session. I assumed it was going to happen at some point, given that we went into the undertaking and I had 9 will stuff.
Yeah. And Morningstar, you want to do your XP?
Yes, well, I think it's safe to say that with regards to addressing tough challenges, I certainly utilized manipulation and astral knowledge.
Yep.
I was
Yeah,
quite
that's 2.
liberal with both of them. Manipulating Tina in the traditional sense and
Oh.
using astral knowledge to inflict my will upon everyone else.
Your mic is peaking a little bit. You might want to back up.
Is it? Oh dear. I really do have to work on this. As for the second row, I don't know that my heritage necessarily came up. But my disposition did, in, again, the Machiavellian sense, to convince poor, beleaguered Tina, whose life has been ruined by us, that we are her only hope at salvation. And I would say, I'm not certain that my aspect came into play necessarily.
Which is?
The Empress.
Ooh. Let me get the
However,
card.
I mean,
That's the one in the deck I'm using.
yes, it's very different from mine, but in either case, I don't think that they are necessarily appropriate for the situations that today entail.
There was a
There's
fingernail
the-
moon outside.
That's what I was gonna say.
Well, that works. I was just going to say, anyhow, that I certainly did once again reinstate my beliefs in maintaining my fabulous appearance, even if that meant pushing myself away from the conflict.
True.
So I would say the point is there either way, if everyone's in agreement.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I would say I didn't really have a permanent trauma, but I did have that temporary paranoia.
Yeah. You played that out really well.
Yeah.
Let that affect you in many ways.
I still don't trust that nasty fish person. After
They'll
they-
never know.
So I would say that's
I'm
quite
concussed.
appropriate.
I can't hear anything.
Exactly. So I would say that I certainly struggled with that. Other than that, I'm not certain. The casting style I've still not entirely decided on, and As for the consequences of harm, I did have a minor concussion, but I didn't really do anything after that. Besides apologize to a tree.
So is that 5?
I should think so. Which
Awesome.
would bring me to my next level of resolve.
Oh, nice.
Now the question is, at what point can I add a third level to something?
Right now?
Oh, so I could become exceptionally commanding. Oh, what the hell, it'll be fun. I'm
All
useless
right.
at everything else, but it will be fun.
Is that our first 3?
I don't have any on mine. I don't know about Hollis or Vespertine.
Yeah, Vespertine might as well, but yeah. All right.
Becoming even better at bossing people around. I just need a little more opportunities to do it.
All right. Any ideas for a major undertaking next time, or are we still going to need a lot of recovery before you guys take on something big?
Well, as I said, I'm rather close to traumaing out myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We might want to spend some of these faith fruits to get our.
Yes, how many? We got 5. How did we split those?
5, we used 1. So I say we each take 1, and we could throw 1 into the coven.
We could just give it to
Yeah.
Vesper.
Yeah, we could.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you use those, you could take an extra downtime action to recover willpower if you need it.
Which we might. I might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've already rolled drawing down the moon. So yeah, everybody gets 2 downtime actions, and if you spend your Fey Fruit, you'll get a third. So hopefully that'll get everybody back to a point. It would be really cool if we came up with like a big, if you're recovered enough that we could take on a big undertaking next time, maybe going after another powerful artifact. If
Yeah.
you're up for it. So. Well, let's let everybody know that's watching where they can find all of you on social media, and then we'll sign off and we can handle downtime actions before the next session next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So, Lilith, would you like to go first?
I'm at Megs Benedict on Instagram. I do nothing there. I'm just here for the chaos.
Morningstar?
Well, you can find me at the Cytherian, either here on Twitch. It's a secret, no one knows about it yet. Or on Twitter, or Instagram, or Facebook, or really anywhere, darling. And there I am for your viewing pleasure. Because really, I know I am a pleasure to view.
And Hollis?
Yeah, I think all of our handles are out there already, right? Aren't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really have anything super exciting for anybody to look at. So yeah.
All right. And if you want to get a hold of the game, it's at quickstart.childrenofmidnight.com. And it's also available on DriveThruRPG, but it's free, and we would love to hear your experiences playing it.
And it's bloody good fun. You can quit me on darling. Write it on the back of the...
I will. It's going on the back, for sure. Well, it's been lovely. Now I'm going to end the stream, and we will see you all next week.
Ta, darlings.
Bye.